Whether Afghanistan is suffering the deadly aftermath of a magnitude 6 earthquake, the death toll so far over 800. The epicenter of the quake is 27 kilometers north of Jalalabad. It's in mountainous terrain. It's reported whole villages have been wiped out. International aid to Afghanistan has declined sharply since the Taliban seized power in August 2021, and getting expert help into these mountainous terrains affected is nigh on impossible due to the Taliban's closed culture. The images really telling the story of tragedy and pain that the ordinary Afghans are suffering because of this natural disaster. Let's bring in Shahzaib Wahlah, who's in Islamabad, Pakistan's capital, just 180 kilometers from the earthquake zone. Shahzaib, the shock, I imagine, was felt where you are.
Well, the intensity of the earthquake was so strong that around midnight yesterday, we saw people in Islamabad, the capital of Pakistan, coming out of their homes and staying in the street after the earthquake was felt here as well. After the initial quake, a series of at least 5 aftershocks followed throughout the night. Yet, most of the destruction is feared to have happened in Afghanistan, as the quake has struck at a shallow depth. As it has gotten dark in this part of the world now, rescue operations have almost been put to an halt. But the authorities are saying that there may be more people still stuck under the rubble. The ones who have survived are now afraid to sleep inside their homes, as there have been multiple aftershocks in the area. And then there is a high chance of rain tonight in the areas that have been hit hardest by the earthquake. Most of these people will be forced to spend the night out in the open. Earlier today, we saw that heavy losses were reported in more than 5 districts of Kunar province, as we even got reports that entire villages were destroyed. Kunar province, that was hit the hardest by this earthquake, is one of the most underdeveloped, poor and mountainous region, where most of the houses are built out of clay, mud and rocks. They are very vulnerable, particularly to earthquakes. And this earthquake took place late in night, which means most of the people were inside their homes when the disaster hit. And the biggest challenge so far has been to reach these areas, as rescuers are facing difficulties due to hard to access mountainous terrain. Rescuers have still not been able to reach several remote villages, as they remain inaccessible due to road blockages, mainly because of landslides.
We're getting a real sense, Shahzaib, of what you're saying, along with the images that have come through of the scale of what has happened here, and of course the range of the devastation, making it impossible in many respects to reach the areas and those in need. And they are in need, 800 or more, and the death toll is climbing. I'm wondering, Shahzaib, about the situation politically, of course. The Taliban in power again since 2021, the closing in of Afghan society, of the country, with the rest of the world basically excluded. Normally, with these kind of circumstances, there is a massive world response to come and send emergency crews to try to help things. One perhaps doesn't see that happening here.
Well, we know that the country is already going through a severe economic crisis. And since the Taliban have returned to power, foreign aid has been slashed. And it has actually undermined the already in crisis country's ability to respond to natural disasters. The country is facing sanctions on international banking. So most of the aid that gets into Afghanistan comes through UN agencies that brings in US dollars, sometimes most of the times in cash through airplanes. And for now, what we have seen is that neighboring countries have committed to help the victims of these disasters, but the authorities are saying that they will need much more, as the scale of the destruction is huge.
Shahzaib Wahlah joining us from Islamabad with the latest on the situation in Afghanistan, where the earthquake struck, magnitude 6, of course, on the Richter scale, registering upwards of 800 people have lost their lives so far that they can count. A rescue and recovery operation is underway. Shahzaib there describing the difficulty that is faced, and of course we will be watching for all developments internationally as to whether help can get there to help those people stricken in Afghanistan.